Hello, everyone. So I do have a question that is kind of like almost like I've been trying to answer this question, which is, how do women flourish at work? These questions matter to me as an architectural academic, as a leader, and as someone who has experienced both flourishing and not flourishing at work. So let me begin with inspiration from Christine Lagarde, the first woman president of the European Central Bank. She speaks about empowering women through the 4 Ls: learning, labor, law, and leadership. As human beings, we share the same foundational needs: connection, dignity, fairness, safety, and trust. And when these needs are met, flourishing becomes visible. So psychology gives us a useful framework to experience flourishing. The PERMA model reminds us that flourishing includes positive emotions, engagement, relationship, mattering, and achievement. And self-determination theory tells us we flourish when we experience autonomy, competence, relatedness. So having choice, feeling capable, and feeling connected. And flourishing starts with self-awareness. Self-awareness has 2 parts: internal self-awareness and external self-awareness. Internal self-awareness asks, how do I see myself? Do I understand my values, motivations, and emotions? When we build internal self-awareness, we make better decisions, we set realistic goals, and we regulate our emotions, and we build our resilience reserves. And then external self-awareness asks, how do others see me? What impact do I have? This helps us build stronger relationships, identify gaps, and becoming more empathetic. Flourishing requires both internal and external self-awareness. So work is changing, women are changing, and the workplace must change with us. 2 questions guide flourishing at work: what is required and what is desired? Then use your strength to deliver the work, not just good work, excellent work. Then do the work after the excellent work. Use your voice to share your visibility and credibility. So the Harvard Business Review reminds us, mentors advise you, sponsors accelerate you. You don't want to be over-mentored and under-sponsored, especially for women and people of color, because research shows that hard work alone is not enough to get noticed. Flourishing requires advocacy, not just advice. So let me share how I did not flourish as an early career academic. I made 5 mistakes. Adding too much value, yes, too much, doing more than required without any intentions, doing the academic housework, the invisible tasks, essential but rarely recognized, leading without authority, which means spending a lot of energy with limited influence, less following up and documentations in writing formats, and then not being selective enough. And that led to wrong people, wrong places, and wrong projects. So these 5 mistakes led to fatigue, not flourishing. So here is the hard reality. The high value duties are visible. And then we have low value duties which are invisible. So invisibility leads to burnout, and flourishing at work requires intentional visibility. Shirley, the US Congresswoman, once said, if they don't give you a seat at a table, bring a folding chair. But today we must ask, which tables matter? Not all tables are equal. There are real tables where decisions are made, and there are financial tables where resources are allocated. And there are performative tables where visibility exists without real impact. And then there is a useful framing, the circle of control, circle of influence, and circle of concern. Focus your energy where you have control and influence, not just concern. Move from a reactive mindset to a proactive mindset. So let me ask you a question. Are you over-prepared overqualified, and yet overlooked? If your answer is yes, hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. I repeat, there is nothing wrong with you. It is the system, it is the conditions, even when you are doing everything right. Flourishing is intentional. It requires clarity, know your strength, know your time, know your place. And ask, am I working in conditions that enable flourishing? If we really want women to flourish at work, we must ask 3 critical questions. Question 1, what conditions enable women to flourish at work? Question 2, what factors help or hinder women flourishing at work? And question 3, how can workplaces create conditions for women to flourish? So my call to action is to workplaces, to leaders, and to women. To workplaces, be transparent on what progression looks like and create fair opportunities for all within the core working hours to flourish. I repeat, within the core working hours, not at weekend. To leaders, sponsor credible and contributing women and champion them for leadership. To women, select your workplace intentionally, use your voice, and claim your well-deserved visibility and credibility. And to all of us today here, let us create workplaces where flourishing is not rare, but reality. Because when women flourish, workplaces flourish, communities flourish, and futures flourish. Thank you.